What's up, guys? My name is Jake from Jake at the Park. For those of you new to this channel, welcome. I highly suggest subscribing, liking, maybe sharing with a friend or family member, whatever you can do. It really does help me out. I know we hear that all the time, but seriously, it does. So thanks for following. Thanks for tuning into this video. You can also follow me at Jake at the Park on Instagram and Jake at the Park Official on TikTok. Now, going into this video, we are going to be talking about the Disneyland annual passes. I shouldn't even be calling them annual passes. They are the Magic Key system. It is here to stay. It's a 4-tier system of annual passes known as Magic Keys. Maybe you already know exactly which key you're gonna get, or maybe you have no idea. I'm gonna break down anything from the price point to the value, all this great information on which key is right for you. So stay tuned here at Jake at the Park. Ready or not, here they come. The Magic Keys are making their way to the Disneyland Resort starting next week, August 25th, when you can purchase them as early as 10 a.m. And you can even make a reservation for that very day. Maybe you know exactly which Magic Key you're gonna get, or maybe you have no idea. Maybe you're like me and you're comparing it to what it was in the past with some of these passports and flex passes, or maybe you're also like me and have just been completely confused, starting with the names in general. I mean, all these Magic Keys, I'm so used to calling them annual passes. We're gonna be going through each one of the keys and what they have to offer, all the benefits and everything that you're probably already familiar with, but it's just gonna be a refresher. And I have like a new system on how to remember them, because some of these words like the enchantment and the dream key, I mean, I can't remember sometimes. I'm such a physical, picturesque type of person that I can't remember what key does what, and I've been reviewing this for days now. So this is kind of like an easier Jake at the Park system to remember what each key does. We're gonna be going through each and every one of the keys and of what value they bring to you in comparison to the 2021 Park Hopper single day ticket. Quick disclaimer before I start talking about the values of these Magic Keys in comparison to the 2021 Park Hopper Pass. This is just the average. It may depend if you go on a peak day, if you don't go on a peak day, if you pay for parking, if you maybe pay for parking somewhere else. It totally varies. This is just an average on what it should cost. So the first key we're gonna be talking about is the Dream Key. This is the top of the line, comes with all the bells and whistles. It is also the most expensive key out of the four at $13.99, or you can pay it off at $102 per month with a $179 down payment. Now, I'm gonna preface, this goes with the Dream Key and all of the keys. The whole down payment, paying it off monthly system is only offered for California residents only. I don't know the exact reason, maybe it's a legality thing, but if you live outside of the state of California or are not a California resident, unfortunately, you have to pay the entire cost of each one of these tickets up front, and you can't pay it off monthly. So $13.99 or $102 and a $179 down payment for California residents. With this key, it allows you to hold up to 6 reservations at one time. And what I mean by that, in case you haven't been to the park recently, Disneyland and Disney California Adventure are working off of a reservation system only, meaning you can't just show up the day of and go to the park or buy a ticket, and just hope to get in. Unfortunately, you have to make a reservation, and sometimes maybe the days that you wanted might not be available. But as of right now, as of this video, I believe it's 120 days in advance Disney allows you to look at the reservation windows and what is available. So you're more than likely to get the days that you want, but being able to hold 6 at one time is really good. If you have some specific days that you want to go and you plan on going to Disneyland a lot, holding 6 at one time is pretty solid. And this is included in this Dream Key. Now, as soon as you use one of those days, so if you're holding 6 of them at a time and you use one of those days, then one opens up that you can now book ahead. So it's not like you have to use all 6 reservations to then get 6 more. It's kind of a rolling system that you can have up to 6 at one time, and as soon as you use one, you can reserve for the other. So that's pretty good for someone who maybe wants to visit the park a lot, or at least hold a bunch of reservations at one time. The Dream Key has no blockout dates, meaning that the day you purchase the ticket for an entire year, 365 days, you can theoretically go any day you want, but that does vary if that date is available. Remember, with the reservation system, you have to make a reservation in advance, And during maybe some more popular days, like around the holidays or during some, random peak Saturdays, for instance, those might not be available. So they are not blocked out, but you have to have a reservation. And with this key, you can hold up to 6 at a time, remember. So as long as you plan ahead, you can go any day of the year, which is pretty cool. You get 20% off merchandise and 15% off food and drink around the Disneyland Resort. However, these do vary. I think most of the merchandise around the entire resort, those you're good to go, but the food and drink, if you go to certain carts, they don't necessarily offer that discount. At least that's what it was with the annual passes. So you might not get 15% off, but most places will offer it. So 20% off merch, 15% off food and drink. The Dream Key also comes with free parking. Free in the sense that you're paying $13.99 for it, but you don't have to pay for parking, which is really nice, especially if you plan on parking all the time at Disneyland. As you know, between the Toy Story lot, Mickey and Friends, all these different places at the resort, as of right now, it's $25 a pop. So as soon as you start making your reservations and going to Disneyland, if you don't plan on parking at the park, that's one thing, but if you do, it quickly adds up at $25 a day. So with this key, you get free parking for the entire year. Remember, all these keys are park hopper passes, so I'm gonna be comparing it to the average cost of a 2021 park hopper pass. In this case, for 2021, it is $182. Now, when you're comparing that to the price of a Dream Key at $1,399, you would actually have to go to the park 7.69 times in order for you to break even. But remember, when you're doing the single day park hopper passes, you also are paying for parking if you are parking at the resort. That's an extra $25 a pop. So I'm gonna break down those numbers. If you were to add $25 to the $182 cost of an average day park hopper ticket, that comes to $207, or 6.76 times you'd have to go to the parks in order to break even and have it be of value to you. In conclusion, if you plan on visiting the parks at least 7 times, the Dream Key is perfect for you. It makes sense and you really get your money's worth. It's also for any Disneyland goer who wants to go any day of the year. Maybe there's specific days right before Christmas or Thanksgiving that you plan on going, or there's a peak day that really is something you can't miss. If you need to hold at least 6 reservations, if you need and plan on going to the parks at least 7 times, and there are specific dates, you don't want to have any blockout dates, this key is for you. You might be saying right about now, Jake, there's no way I'm gonna remember all this. I got you, I told you, I got you, I'm gonna make this a little bit easier for you. The Dream Key, for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna be renaming the Dream of 7 24/7 Pass. What that means is, it is the Dream tier, the Dream Key, of 7, meaning you have to go at least 7 times for it to be of value to you and break even, and it is available 24/7, 365, no blockout dates. The Dream Key is the Dream of 7 24/7 Pass. Up next, we have the penultimate key. It's Cher's favorite, known as the Believe Key. Now, I don't know why I said that, but it costs $949 or $65 a month with a $179 deposit. Remember though, if you're paying monthly, that is for California residents only. But it's $450 cheaper than the Dream Key, which is pretty good. Along with the Dream Key, this Believe Key lets you hold up to 6 reservations at a time, the same amount as the Dream Key, which is pretty nice. However, you are now introduced to Blockout Days. We'll talk more about that in a second. Parking now is 50% off, so it's not the full 25, but you get $12.50 off, not bad. And you get 10% off merchandise and 10% off food and drink. With the Believe Key, you have 48 Blockout Days. Now, that may sound like a lot right away, but it really isn't. If, out of the 365, 48 of them are blocked out, no big deal. These dates, though, are around the last 2 weeks of December, a few days before Thanksgiving, and then 1 whole week, I believe, in April, as well as just some random days, here and there throughout the year. So if those are days that you don't need to go or don't plan on going, then right away, this is a pretty good value to you, being that it's $450 off of the previous key. Say those 48 blockout dates aren't deal breakers for you. You don't need to go during those exact dates that are blocked off. Well, as long as you plan on visiting the parks at least 5 times throughout the course of the year, this ticket is of value to you and you break even. If you plan on going 5 times throughout the year, that's one thing, but say you're going 5 days in a row, you might actually want to consider not even getting a Magic Key and just getting a 5-day park hopper pass. As of this video, a 5-day Park Hopper Pass comes to $415 per adult ticket. And if you're comparing it to this Believe Key at $949, it's significantly cheaper. It's 50% cheaper to actually just do away with the actual Believe Key and just buy it a la carte. Now, you may have to pay for parking, and yes, you don't get the discounts, but if you plan on just going 5 days but have it being in a row, maybe the Believe Key isn't for you. But again, if you plan on going 5 times throughout the year, then yes, you should go with the Believe Key. Having said all that, I'm gonna be renaming this the Believe in 5, I Think I Can Survive. And what that means is, this is the Believe Key. You have to go a minimum of 5 days for it to be of value. And I think I can survive not going the last 2 weeks in December or that week off in April or random days throughout the year. So if you believe in 5 and you think you can survive, then this is totally the key for you. Next, we have the third tier key, which is the Enchant Key at $649 or $40 per month with that $179 deposit. However, you now only can hold 4 reservations at a time. And along with that, you have 150 plus blockout days as of this video. So a little bit less as far as the amount of days you can choose from. Parking is not included, so you have to pay full on $25 to park per day. Again, as of this video, please let's not have those parking prices change, as well as 10% off food and merchandise. Before we start talking about the values of the Enchant Key, I'm gonna preface by saying this. It is still an annual pass, or magic key. It is still a magic key, and you can go 200 plus times throughout the year. That's amazing. But I will say, I kind of look at this magic key, the Enchant Key, as the medium fry, if you will, of all the Enchant Keys. This is the medium popcorn at the movie theater. And what I mean by that is, I kind of feel like Disney is pushing this key for people to, you could still get it, but to upgrade to the Believe Key. Or, if you want to go all the way to the Dream Key, that's kind of a little bit of a jump. But it's one of those things where, like, the value of it, yes, it's a little bit cheaper, but you have less amount of reservations you can hold. You have 150 blockout days. The overall value, to me personally, doesn't necessarily seem worth it. But if you plan on just going, 200 plus times or throughout the 200 plus times that you are available to go, you just want to go randomly, then yeah, this is absolutely worth it. I will say though, similar to the Believe Key, if you plan on doing just like a Disneyland trip where you want to go 4 consecutive days in a row, then you might want to just stick to doing a multi-pass because it's going to be cheaper that way. The reason why I say 4 is, if I didn't mention, this key, the Enchant Key, to break even and have it be of value to you, you want to go at least 4 times. So if it's 4 times over the course of the year, you don't mind the random days that you go, you don't mind the 150 blockout days or, paying for parking, whatever, then it's worth it. But if you do want to go 4 days in a row and that's the only time you plan on going to the Disneyland parks, you might want to just do the multi-pass. Having said all that, I'm going to rename this key Enchant with 4, but the days are sore. And what I mean by that is, this is the Enchant tier key. You have to go a minimum of 4 days for it to be of value to you. But let's be honest, the days are a little sore. You can't go anywhere near the peak days. Holidays are obviously off. And of those 150 days, maybe those are specific days you want to go and it's a little sore. So Enchant with 4, but the days are sore. And lastly, we have the 4th tier key. This is the lowest priced key, known as the Imagine Key. I just feel like I said key so many times right there. It is priced at $399 or 20 bucks a month with that $179 deposit. As you can imagine, this kind of has the least amount of benefits, including this caveat: it is only available for California residents only. I'm not just talking about paying monthly or anything like that. I'm saying in order to purchase it flat out. Along with that, you can hold up to 2 reservations at a time. Obviously, parking's not included. And as far as the merchandise and food and drink discount, that's still set at 10%. With over 230 days of blockout, this key, it is totally designed for the random Disney goer, someone who actually lives nearby that really can just go on a whim. Say, you want to just make a reservation the next day and it is available, let's say. This is perfect for you. The amount of times you have to go in order for it to break even and be of value to you is 2 times. So as long as you go at least 2 times, again, that depends though. If you plan on parking, if you plan on going multiple times, you might want to consider upgrading to a different tier key. But at $399, I mean, it's fairly cheap, and 230 days are blocked out, but you still get, what is that, like 130 days to go. I mean, this is, again, for the California resident who just wants to go randomly. Only California residents can purchase this key, okay? And that's why I'm calling it the Imagine Today, the California way. Meaning, bear with me, the Imagine tier key. You have to go at least 2 times over the course of the year for it to be of value. And it's the California way because it's only available to California residents. So Imagine Today, the California way. Now that you know all the information on these magic keys, all the benefits, if it's of value to you, and those ways to remember them, I got you. I told you I'm gonna make this easy, or easier on you. Hopefully I made it a little bit easier. The last thing I'm gonna be talking about in this video that a lot of you have reached out to ask me about is upgrading tickets. Can I upgrade my tickets? Can I upgrade multi-pass tickets? How does this work? The short answer is yes, you can upgrade your current tickets to one of the magic keys. However, there's a few caveats. Number one being, you can only get them upgraded at the Disneyland resort, okay? You can't call, you can't do it online. You have to physically go to the ticket booths to get it upgraded. And if it is a promotional or specialty ticket, unfortunately, you cannot. So the SoCal Residence Pass, if you were to get a ticket to the Oogie Boogie specialty event, those specialty deemed or promotional tickets unfortunately do not fit or fall under this category, so those cannot be upgraded. However, everything else for the most part can be, and that will be applied towards whatever magic key you end up getting. However, that varies a little bit too. In order to upgrade, it has to be of equal or greater value. What I mean by that is, say you have a 5-day park hopper at $415. You can't, unfortunately, upgrade to the Imagine key. I'm trying to remember. It's the Imagine Today, the California way. See, I told you. You can't upgrade to that key because that is $399, which is $16 cheaper. You can, however, upgrade to the Enchant Key at $649, and basically what you're going to pay is the difference of the cost. So, whatever key you end up choosing minus whatever the price is of your ticket or multi-day pass. That is what you are going to be paying. And yes, you can actually still do a monthly payment system on that if you are a California resident like we discussed. So yes, depending on what ticket you have, you can upgrade. But before you even think about doing that, I want to say something that is definitely going to make a difference and can actually be a really good tip. Whatever ticket or multi-pass you have, you want to absolutely upgrade on the very last day of your visit. So if you have just a single day pass, fine. You go into the park, and then as soon as you even scan your tickets, you can go right to the booth and get them upgraded, no problem. But if you have, let's say, the 5-day pass, you don't want to upgrade until you visit and get your ticket scanned on the 5th day. A few reasons. Number one, as soon as you get it upgraded, you lose your reservations for whatever you had previously. So if you had a 5-day pass and you used 3 of the 5 and decided on day 3 for whatever reason to go and get an upgrade, you would lose whatever reservations you have on day 4 and day 5, which really can mess you up. So make sure that you do that and that you only upgrade on your last day. And again, you could do it towards the end of the day, or you could even just go and scan your tickets real quickly, go into the park and come out 30 seconds later. Just make sure it's the last day. If you're still watching this video, you're in luck because I'm gonna give you a tip that really can help you out and totally maximize if there's one specific day that you really wanted to go using the magic key, but unfortunately it was blocked out. Now, this does vary and you have to be patient, and you do technically have to wait up until that day, but this is what you do. For example, let's say whatever magic key you choose, unfortunately Halloween isn't available and you really want to go. Well, if you have the ability to make a reservation with just using a single day, whether it's a one park or park hopper day ticket on October 31st, book it, do it. What you're gonna do is, as soon as you scan yourself in on that day, you can upgrade and have the rest of the year covered under your magic key. Yes, depending on whatever magic key you choose, there will still be blockout dates, but you get to go on October 31st. That is, if you make a reservation and are, able to get one, and then be able to upgrade and use that value of the ticket and apply it towards whatever magic key that you want. So in essence, it gives you the ability to start on maybe a blockout day that unfortunately you couldn't get and still be able to purchase and use that original value and apply it towards a magic key. You got to think about it, you got to plan it ahead, and you have to be patient. You obviously can't get your magic key beforehand because then that just doesn't work. But it's another alternative if you have the ability to wait, if you don't want to purchase a dream key and there's one specific day that you want to go that is blocked out. You're welcome. Okay, I know that was a ton of information. These magic keys, there's a lot going on, but when you go back through this video, looking at the benefits and breaking down the costs, it really comes down to what works best for you. Maybe there's certain days that you need, or there's a certain amount of reservations that you have to hold at one time. Whatever it is, it really comes down to what works best for you, and certain keys are going to work better for different people. Look back at some of these tips. Maybe it's worth actually not getting a key right away, being patient and upgrading. Whatever you decide to do, please let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to see what direction you guys go, which keys you end up getting. And remember, the last thing I will say is the first 66 days of purchasing one of these keys, I guess we get some sort of Disney magic upgrade with, what is it? Probably a pin, some stickers, a magnet, that sort of thing. So if you happen to purchase within the first 66 days, expect that. We don't know exactly what it will be, but I'm assuming it will be something like that. These tickets, they do say, are subject to changing, to altering, and as well as selling out. Will they sell out? I don't think they will, but you never know. At the end of the day, I hope this made it a lot easier to understand, to comprehend. Remember some of the things I told you. Dream of 7 24/7. That's how you do it. I mean, imagine today, the California way. Whatever it is to help you remember, I hope it helped, and I appreciate you watching this video. Please, I highly suggest considering at least subscribing to my channel and liking this video, maybe sharing with another Disney friend or relative. But until then, I'm Jake, and this is Jake at the Park, and I'll see you later.